talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
Nope. I'm not talking unless y'all giving me likes, commenting, and subscribing. You hear me? Oh, okay then. Well. Hey, B. It's JamiThatsMe here. We got to talk about Married to Medicine. So make sure you guys are doing your due diligence. You know what you're supposed to do. I just told y'all I wasn't going to talk. So I'm talking because a few of y'all already know and gave me my likes and a piece of a comment. All right, and subscribe. So I thank you so kindly. But we have to talk about Married to Medicine. And this was an okay episode. Let us get into it. So Toya and Eugene at the house. And of course, Toya asked him about whether he's reached out to anybody, whether he's called anybody, and he's like, "Hell no, I haven't." She thinks that he should have, reached out. But I kind of felt like I like the fact that he didn't reach out because I'm like, girl, people need to decompress too, not just the people that was over there going through but child, it was a lot for everybody on the trip. So it's okay that he needs to decompress. And she's like, well, at least you know what I'm saying. Call Greg or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And I thought about it and I said, well, you know what, Toya, maybe you're right. Okay, maybe you're right, because if I was in their position, I probably would have felt the way that ain't nobody like hit me up and just at least see how I'm doing and stuff like that. Like, hey, you good? You feel what I'm saying? Like, at least hit me with the you good? Yeah, I'm good. Okay, then. All right, so I guess maybe Toya is right. All right, so as she's talking about that, first of all, Eugene is feeling like I just feel like people need time to decompress. It was a lot of SHI going on, but I'll hit them up, okay? Toya says, good. And while you at it, I want you to know that I want to do something real high class, real bourgeois, whatever, all the way back then. I want us to take it back. And I want to do like a Bridgerton theme type party. And I'm like, okay, Toya, this might be a little something. Okay, cool. She's like, I want everybody to like get dressy, like overly dressed up, and I want everybody to be there. Like, how do you feel about that? He's like, yeah, like, cool. That's fine. She's like, okay. So basically, she wants to invite Greg and T to be a part of this function. And I'm like, okay. But I do feel like, Toya, before you invite them, if there could be some small conversation between the two or the four, where it's you keep your partner on that side, we'll keep these other folks on this side, or whether it's a all of them coming together and realizing that we just gonna have to deal with each other because we all on this show. And everybody at this point about need a damn check, so ain't nobody finna go nowhere no time soon. So you motherfuckers gonna have to learn how to operate, right? But it seems like they are having those conversations before they actually get to the event that's gonna take place. So she doesn't know how to bring these two couples together though, and that's the thing. Okay, Eugene says those two people know how to push each other buttons. Come on. He ain't never lied. He says, and the ability to be able to do that to each other is still there. I said, come on, Eugene. Neither one of them have healed from their situation. Now, a lot of us may go back and forth on Quad must still want Greg, or Greg must still want Quad. And it may not even be that. I remember at one point I was like, okay, I don't think Greg would want Quad. I don't think he won't hunt Quad no more. Then I started changing my mind. Like, I don't know. Maybe he do because he's still acting like that. But also the same thing, in my opinion, can be said towards Quad because they both doing shit to get under the other person's skin. Right? So it could be a situation where maybe neither one of them want to be back with each other. But what's for sure and what the fuck is for certain is the fact that neither one of them are healed from the past to a point where both of them are still bothered by the other. There has been no healing to take place. And, I just want to reconfirm for the people. All right. So I know the folks get ready to come down in the comments and try to defend Quad and say, Quad don't want him and Quad this and that. And that's fine. And he may not want her. But at the end of the day, what we're talking about is these two individuals are not healed from whatever happened in their marriage, okay? And they are both still allowing the other to push their buttons, okay? In addition, you have heard Eugene say it. You've heard other people on the cast say it. You've even heard Quad's man even say it on more than one occasion that neither one of these people have done the necessary work to heal. Now, and it really is terrible because he's the psychiatrist, and maybe that's why we hold him. Well, let me speak for myself. Maybe that's why I hold him a little higher as far as getting your shit together mentally, because you are the psychiatrist. How do you not have? But you know what they say is so common for psychiatrists and therapists to not have their shit together, but over here administering to somebody else. And that's actually, I guess, a common thing with people. People can tell you about your situation and what you may need to do, but they don't recognize it within themselves on the shit they need to do. So maybe that's just the human part. But sir, go you know enough people to go sit your ass or lay your ass down on somebody's couch. Get that together. And I know you haven't done the work based on how you talk to T and the flashbacks that they give us of how he used to talk to Quad. Like, what Erica De Niro say? Mattress and a mule. Yes, that's what you wanted Quad to be, and you wanted a little piece of that in T. Okay, just a little piece. And I just don't think you too low on the totem pole a bit for me, for somebody to just be those things. But yeah, that's what he wanted. Like, it really ain't no different than how he talked to T and her. Like, I mean, but we already knew that, right? Do we really need to see any flashbacks? Do we really need to see the video? You know what? Maybe some of y'all did need to see the video of how he talks to T, because last year she told Dr. Heavenly that Quad was right about some things, about how he acts, how he responds to things. Like, you're a grown man in a little man's body, but also with a little mindset at the same time. Just a little piece, okay? And it's not that I hate Dr. G, because I don't hate a single person on this show. They collectively get on your nerves collectively, but you have some good moments. Like, Heavenly gets on my nerves when she comes down to the YouTube and she talks too damn much, and then she be saying stuff don't make sense. Toya be clocking her for her lies and stuff. I be clocking her for the little lies and stuff she said. But Heavenly is funny as fuck, and I think that Heavenly may have some good parts to her as well. I think she could be like a nice person too, a caring person, but she get on my nerves some damn times, and I'm sure it's the same for the cast as well. Dr. G, you might not be all bad. It must not be all bad that some of the people are still okay with being around you and having you on their show, but you got your shit too. Same thing with Quad. Everybody got their shit, right? And that's my problem. Okay, primarily with you is that you got your SHI, and I don't feel like you've worked on anything for the better. And I just pray to God that T really don't bring no baby in this world with your ass. I feel like it's gonna be worse. That's just what I think, girl. Cause I'm over here. I'm flashbacking, still thinking about how Quad was treated. I know you ain't cooking tonight. I know you ain't gonna do this or that. That also makes me think of a person that anything she may have done, he may have downplayed it. Like, just like he did with T. What you gonna do? You still a woman. So even if Quad would have done something, it would have been like, he would have discredited that or made her feel less than. So it's anybody got time for that shit and then have a child with you, I feel like it's gonna be worse. Why are you doing them like that? He just seems like a nitpicky ass person. Okay, but anywho, I went on a tangent all off. But anyway, y'all, let's get back to it. So Quad, she pulls up on Dr. Heavenly. And Heavenly says, girl, baby, don't be coming here. Oh, who is that? You coming in, not knocking the door? You not ringing the doorbell? You just want to come on in? Honey, I could be having sex anywhere around this house and you won't even know any of that. Okay? Because you just want to come on in people's house. What the hell you got going on? So Quad says, girl, stop. Now, where y'all going to be hunching at? Y'all gonna be hunching in the living room? I know y'all not gonna be doing that. And I damn sure know you're not gonna be over here hunching on this piano. And I'm like, Miss Quad, didn't that lady tell you that she was an empty nester? Don't sit up there and tell Heavenly what she gonna be hunching that bitch. Okay, Miss 15 days, 15 times a week, ho. Okay, how is you cool? Don't tell that woman, because if she wanna hunch on the floor in front of the door, she can. It's her house. Period. Don't be trying to come in there regular. I would have to turn Quad. You gonna have to go out and come back in. Don't come in my house like that. I don't play like that. Don't do that, girl. Okay. Anywho, so Heavenly says that Dr. G and T need time away from the group. As they're talking and stuff, Heavenly says, I think it's time for Dr. G and T to take some time away from the group. And I'm over here like, oh, so now BITCH, they need to take time from the group. But you was ready to give them all the time of the day to be a part of the group. Remember? But now it's time for them to take time away from the group. And the only reason why you saying that is because you're not rocking with neither one of them. Only reason why you saying that is because they be wanting you to be held accountable for the SHI that you say. Okay? Even though Jackie gonna let you skirt and she gonna let you slide with the shit that you do, they not. Hello? The same way he didn't like that you sat up there and called him in a PDF file or whatever you tried to say trying to threaten his license, knowing if somebody said that shit about daddy, you'll be all over them. Cut it out. Stop playing. Then the shit that you say and do when it come to T has every right to pounce on your ass. And I love it because I don't know what the hell going on. Not too many of them gonna say shit to your ass aside from Toya and Simone. So I'm glad that, he give you that work just a little piece. But now that they be on your head top, yeah. Now you want to sit up here and say, oh, they need some time away from the group. Nah, BITCH, you wanted the drama, right? That's the reason you brought them around, right? You wanted the drama, right? Well, guess what? BITCH, you're getting it. You're getting it. Is the drama making you feel uncomfortable now? Nah, I feel like, in all honesty, how y'all felt about Quad last year was y'all true feelings. And that's just my personal. Just a little piece. And you know how Heavenly says, I'm going to say it and take it back. Girl, I might say it and change my damn mind the next day, okay? Depending on the situation. But right now, I feel like how you guys felt about Quad last year is truly how you feel. And you're using the situation that happened between King and Gregory and stuff as an excuse to me to make it appear as though you're really showing care and love for Quad when you're not. I feel like Toya about more genuine than y'all because most of the time Toya ain't faking it with her goddamn ass. Toya has no reason to fake it because she always held Quad's head to the damn fire. Okay? Always trying to get that burnt mark on their lady face, holding their head down to that fire. So I feel like Toya has no reason to me, in my opinion, to fake it with you like the rest of you, okay? And Dr. Simone, baby, I have loved you, but girl, you are slipping away. You are slipping away, honey. But I saw Cecil this weekend. You weren't with him. But had you been with him, I would have slid right on over there. I would have been trying to have a conversation. Like, Nana, what the hell going on with you? Okay? But anyway, y'all, I feel like what y'all did to Quad, like I said last year, was how y'all really felt. And y'all putting up a facade right now. I think Toya might be the only one being real, but as I go through this review, I might change my damn mind on that too. Okay, so Quad, in my personal, you can enjoy it for the moment. I don't even know if you should get that close to them, but enjoy it for the moment because should T not return to this show, they will be back on you and King's arse because they ain't gonna have nobody else to get at it with. And whenever somebody comes into the group that's younger than them, not as accomplished as them, because of course y'all are older, right? So you guys are likely going to have accomplished more. Dr. Mimi is a doctor just like all of y'all, but she's younger. She may not have accomplished as much as y'all. She's married, yes. She has children, but her children are not as old as y'all kids, okay? And I'm talking about the three primary Powerpuff villains. In addition, she hasn't been married as long as y'all. So, of course, y'all going to be trying to find somewhere where y'all can use y'all big sister expertise to try and give unwanted advice and shit, and then it's going to lead down the road of, some type of catastrophe as we have always ended in. Okay, every season. But we appreciate you all for the entertainment. Okay, but yeah, so quiet. I don't know, girl. Okay, you might want to be a little careful, honey. I don't know if you should get so, arm in arm, hand in hand just yet. Maybe you could rub the elbow, but, just a little bit, rub elbows with them. But don't be trying to, scoop them around the arm and all this, girl. I don't know. Okay? Now, what I'm thinking about is how I understood the ladies wanting Quad to open up more, over the past years or whatever like that, which is why they were kind of trying to push her out of the group. But then also at the same time, I understand why she don't want to. Because when people share shit with y'all try to flip it and throw it in their damn face. So it's like, my guard will be up with you bitches too. But anywho, girl, y'all make y'all money. Do what y'all got to do to make y'all money and continue to live in those beautiful homes. So Quad says, listen, at the end of the day, Bookie Dookie, all right, she talked, actually before that. Yeah, no, we got into Heavenly. Quad says that, I'm tired of talking about all of this relationship stuff. I'm really over it. Hello? No. It's okay. But I just know that it always leads to some bullshit. And right now, I'm sick of it. Okay? So can we just focus on the friendship part? And I feel like that was Quad's way of trying to make sure the ladies know that, one, she's trying. Okay? She's closer with the group. Being with the ladies. She gonna get her filming in and stuff. And to make sure that ain't nobody trying to replace her with T like they was trying to do last year. Okay? And I don't really blame her, Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to save your spot this time, girl. What else? She says that she will be doing some type of girlfriends get together or whatever, but she's not gonna be inviting T and she won't be inviting Phaedra. I don't disagree with that. Just like when Heavenly did not invite, I believe it was Contessa, to her house or something like that. I didn't blame Dr. Heavenly. I probably want to invite her either. If I ain't fucking with you and we almost got into why the hell for to invite you to my house? No, thank you. I don't have to. This is my home. Okay, now we can be out at any other function and you may pop up on me or somebody may bring you along, whatever it is. This is my house. No, ma'am. So if Quad does not want them to come, I I I see nothing wrong. And honestly, she might as well save face when it comes to Porsha. I'm sorry, not Porsha, but Phaedra, because once you send that invitation to Phaedra not gonna respond to you anyway because she don't want to have shit to do with you. Okay, so that's just that on that. Now they get to the dance class and all of the couples are there except for Dr. G and T. And then we also don't see, of course, Dr. Mimi, she had to work, but we also don't see Quad and King there. And of course, Toya asks, like, where's Quad or whatever. And I think Dr. Heavenly may have told Toya that, you know, Quad is pretty much apprehensive, all right? She's not trying to put her man in no compromising situation that she already has. So she probably gonna fall back on that, okay? So Toya presents them with the Chronicles, the Georgington Chronicles. And I thought that was so cute. But even though, I don't know, when Simone got in the confessional and started talking about AI did a great job creating this for Toya, you know what? They probably did. AI probably did do that, and they did a great job. So congratulations to her getting the prompts right for AI. But aside from that, I feel like Simone probably right, because why is you saying that it's the Georgian Chronicles, but the paperwork and Dr. Simone said it accurately, the Georgetown Chronicles, and I'm just like, what the hell? Toy, you keep talking about why you leaving the T out? What you got going on? But anywho, girl, there's that. All right, it's Toya's event, so she gonna call it whatever the hell she want to call it. So I thought the idea was super cute, though. I thought that was just so super cute. If you guys have seen Bridgerton, like it's giving cute. I likes it. All right. So Quad, of course, we said did not show up. Toya says that she doesn't want to do this without them, without Quad and King, and of course she wants Tia, Greg to come, and then Contessa out of nobody and out of everybody, she decides to say Phaedra. And I'm like, don't, girl, you don't even much talk to Phaedra like that. Like, why would you even bring that like name up like that? You don't talk to that woman like that. So Contessa brings up a potential restraining order. All right. She also says there could be a potential restraining order in place. Greg may have filed charges on King. Girl. Now, although I may understand him wanting to do that because he felt threatened, I just disagree. I feel like it was something that they both could have sat down and had a conversation over. To me, I'm not in full support of filing some type of charges or anything like that. Let's just have a conversation, all right? So anywho, so Dr. Damon does not agree with this. And I agree with Dr. Damon just a little piece. So Damon says, when you say something to a man's wife like that, he says he's going to respond. And I'm like, very true, but one, that's not his wife, but he was defending his girl, suppose. I still agree, even though that's not his wife. What did I say? I said King had plenty of time to respond. And oh yeah, I feel like that night King was staring right in Dr. G's face. So you heard what the hell that man said. He said that he didn't hear it, but the fact for me, as I've said in so many videos, he didn't hear it. Y'all agreed to let it move on. Let's keep it pushing. What else is going on? Because whatever you think your girl is getting an apology for, she's not. Because according to you, she doesn't owe him one. So therefore, the shit is not going to happen. Okay? So let's move on. All right. So Contessa says that King attacked Gregory according to him. I said, baby, I can't go with that. I'm sorry. Be mad. I cannot. I disagree. I don't feel like King attacked Gregory in my personal. And to me, just like people tried to force the idea of, y'all saw how Greg was running up on King, how he was trying to test King, how he was doing this or that to King. You know, when he had walked up on him. No. Okay? No, he didn't. That man got up to dap that man up. He was not trying to put fear, threat him, or none of that shit. That man got up, walked over there, wanted to dap King up. King was not on the same shit of dapping him up at all. Okay? So the same way I feel like, in my opinion, Gregory was no threat to King in that moment, I also feel like King wasn't fully a threat to Gregory, in my opinion. I feel like when King and Gregory got to have a conversation, King did approach him and he was like, yo, hey, can we talk real quick? And he did switch it up, yes. Okay, he did switch it up, but I don't think it was that much of a threat when he first approached him. Like, for him to say that he was attacked in that moment, I don't feel like that was an attack. I feel like he just walked up to you like, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" And then he switched it up a little bit, talking about something. I'm gonna let this shit slide. It's like, hey, bro, the shit already slid. Like, what you talking about? Like, who you talking to? Okay, so anybody, of course, is going to feel away, but I didn't feel like he was attacked initially. I felt like Greg may have felt attacked when his guys got over there, but that wasn't an attack to me. That was more so your boys came because you were signaling for help. Help came, and then you wanted to talk your shit. So when you start talking your shit, that's when King was like, "What? Da, 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 da. I know how your girl is." Da, 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 da. Everybody about to, get at some things, took his shirt off, and then you felt attacked in that moment. Okay. Um, but y'all, I mean, I know y'all gonna let me know y'all thoughts anyway, but I just don't, for me, the same way I didn't feel like Dr. G was trying to threaten King when he walked upon him the first time, trying to dap him up. I don't feel like King was trying to attack Gregory. He may have been slightly aggressive. You know what I'm saying? He may have used the tone that I didn't necessarily like, or use or say, "I'm gonna let that shit slide," like you already did. Like you're doing extra. You already let it slide. I don't feel like he was attacking him. The quote unquote attack didn't take place until your saviors came. And now you feel free to talk your shit now. And I don't know, both of y'all, for me, wasn't talking about shit. Cause y'all had nothing but space and opportunity to really go head to head, and y'all didn't. Y'all waited till people got in between y'all before both of y'all wanted to do the most. So for me, no thank you. Heavenly starts asking what would they do if it would have been their wife. Okay, if somebody would have said it to their wife, and they all said, well, pretty much, I think it was Eugene said that it would have been a problem, and Heavenly was like, "Yeah, you say that to me about mine, it's gonna be a problem, right?" But you don't want no problems with Contessa though. So anywho, but here's the thing though, also, those being men that got something to lose, in my opinion, I do feel like, I know some people try to remind me about how Dr. Damien was finna get at somebody over something or whatever, but I do feel like initially the conversation will be trying to see where somebody's coming from. I feel like hood dudes that don't have a certain type of professionalism or whatever are going to be the ones that's just gonna haul off and wanna like whop you. But other guys that have more things to think about than just like going upside somebody's head, I feel like they are going to initially try to ask like, "So what was that about?" Right? And then if it were to get wrong, then it can, if it were nasty or whatever, then it could escalate from there. But initially with having a conversation, I don't think they're going to lead in with wanting to pounce on you. But that's just what it is that I think. All right. What else? Yeah, I don't think they'll come at the guy on some intimidation type stuff. I think they'll start with understanding like what was going on, and then expressing to them in a serious manner of how I would expect you to operate moving forward when it comes to my family. So Contessa goes to the confessional, and she's like, "Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Okay, so now Heavenly understands when somebody comes at your spouse or whatever the case is, then, if somebody come at your spouse, then you going to kind of like snap off or whatever. So, okay, so I guess she only understands it when it's her and it's not nobody else. So she don't understand why I'm coming at her head top. So you saying stuff about my husband, okay, based on even though I share information with you, I never once may have called him abusive, but you're adding 20 on 10. Okay, cool. So when I come at your head, now you want to act like you don't know what's going on? It's the same shit that you just already said. Okay, it's the same thing you already said. Anywho, so Scott and Eugene, they'll talk. They said that, listen, we're gonna have a conversation with G anyway. So we're gonna link up. Once we link up, we'll try to bring everybody together, have a conversation, and figure out what's the next move. Now, I do feel like initially I was thinking that King may be open to having a conversation with Gregory. Then I said, well, wait, King did say that he don't want to be around Gregory. I don't want to be around that man. But by the next night, he did say that he understands that neither one of them have healed parts of that relationship and they got work to do. So it is a sensitive time. So because he was being more understanding, the second night does make me think that he could at least have a sit down with Greg. And if the other guys are there, I think the conversation could potentially go better, maybe. I think that it would be dependent upon Gregory. I feel like at this point, Gregory is at a place where he may feel like he has to show his toughness, right? But even with the guys being there, because again, he'll have his protection. But I think the conversation could potentially happen if everybody come to the table with clear minds, hearts, and like, let's just really talk it out. We're not trying to fight. We're just trying to get an understanding. So it's possible. So anywho, so Toya and Mimi, they meet up with T. And when they meet up with T, Toya says that she invited everyone because she doesn't want to have to choose nobody. So T says she gets it, but some people are still hurt and they can't get over the past. And I'm like, well, T, baby, who you talking about? Because if you just talking about Quad, can't just be talking about Quad. You're going to have to add your husband in that too, okay? So Toya asked about the filing of the police report. And T says, that's up to Gregory. You know, that's up to whatever he got going on with the police. That's up to Gregory. And then Toya said, so what the police said, then T said, girl, that's my business. And I'm like, okay, well, okay. So T says, you got to keep in mind, like, some people reach their breaking points, okay? And, you know, this man took his shirt off and charged at my husband. All right, so everybody not finna go for that. I mean, T not wrong. Like, everybody's not finna go for that. Some people are gonna, you know, try and put some charges on your ass for sure. If you charge at them, if they felt that threatened. Anybody that may have felt threatened got a right to go and press charges or do whatever they gonna do. If I mean, that's why they're there. Okay, that's why they're there. If you threaten anybody, if you make any type of, I'll kill you, bitch, people can get you arrested just for shit you say. So, I mean, if that's how they felt, he has a right to do that, even if I don't agree with it, right? Because for me, being on this show, you guys will see each other again, and it could just be a conversation. It could have been just like a misunderstanding, whatever it was. Even if it wasn't a misunderstanding, all it has to be, in my opinion, is a conversation. So that's just what I think. But anyway, so Toya understands that, but she says, why not give King that grace too? So we want to talk about grace, and you want us to be understanding to the fact that Greg reaches his breaking point. Then why not understand that King could have reached his breaking point as well, right? So T says, I'm not going to say that he doesn't get the grace. She says, I'm just saying that it's up to Gregory. And I do think T not wrong. I feel like it is up to Gregory. I mean, he was the one that was a part of that situation, not me. So this conversation may want to be had with Gregory versus me. So Toya then says, here come, she says, there have come times where T isn't T. Basically because of her erratic behavior. Now I have to be honest and say, what is this erratic behavior that y'all talking about? Now, of course, she may have snapped off on Heavenly, and she may have approached King about her husband or whatever. But what erratic behavior? Just like y'all said, Gregory had erratic behavior the night that he was telling Quad, you talk too fucking much, and he was trying to tell Tita, you be quiet, you be quiet, you be quiet, or whatever, or you be good, you be good. Like, what is this other erratic behavior y'all saying these people show? Because if they don't show it on the show, I'm kind of like, I mean, just like when Contessa was on the phone FaceTime and Greg was just like, you know, like, I don't like that man, like you coming at me, man, man, like, hell nah, man, like, I'm confused. And she goes back to the group and she's like, Gregory was ferocious, Gregory was upset, Gregory was this, like, whatever big word they can use for upset. And I'm just like, how did you get that from a phone call? Like, that's not the reaction that I got. Like, I don't understand what y'all doing. Okay, I'm not understanding. Like, what is this erraticness? What is this craziness? What is this big blown out of proportion? I don't know. I need to see more because I don't understand what the hell y'all saying. So anywho, they talking about she was out of control, and I'm like, in what way? In what way? Y'all trying to police and control how she moves when she really don't even be doing a whole lot, in my opinion. But then when it comes to Heavenly, who does the absolute most, why you ain't had that fucking conversation? Did y'all talk to Contessa about that and tell her she's out of control? Did y'all tell Heavenly she was out of control this past season? This season, I don't recall it. But I guess but y'all telling T she's out of control. Why? And Toya, for me, you should be the last bitch trying to tell somebody that they out of control when you was the same age as her. I would think when you and Mariah got into it, is you cool? Because you was on that same shit and came to blows. T didn't come to blows. All in front of the folks, okay? This is a public event. Y'all on a beach just with y'all. So I'm a little confused. You talking about some out of control. No, ma'am. So T says, just because I'm yelling, and Toya said, no, it was more than yelling. You have done your share of BS and you need to see it for what it is. And I'm like, girl, well, no, I need to see it for what it is. Because what the hell is this erratic behavior, out of control behavior that y'all are talking about? I feel like a lot of her behavior, in my opinion, has been reactionary. Her behavior has been a reaction to some shit somebody did. Okay? All she asked Shireen was like, who invited you? Oh, Heavenly invited. Oh, why did you invite her? To be messy? You don't say to me. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, I'm going to snap off on this. Yeah, I am. You're not finna sit up here and call me no BIT or tell me not to say shit to you. I'm talking to you, ho. Because you're a messy old ass lady. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Now what? So I'm a little confused. Okay? So she's talking to Heavenly. Heavenly wants to get up and Gravity brought her ass back down. Like, I'm a little confused. Okay, now I do feel like what T did with King, trying to go over there and talk to King or whatever she was trying to do. It's like, girl, go check on your man. Why are you over here? You see that guy, him, go see about your man, make sure he's straight. Okay? Now that part, she could have been doing too much, but out of control. Everybody was out of fucking control. I don't see what y'all talking about. Y'all act like the girl was out of control, throwing shit, breaking stuff, fighting people. What is y'all trying to? I don't like that. Trying to police and control folks. Just a little piece. I mean, shit, I don't know. Somebody seemed like it ain't too different than how y'all was doing Quad, but okay. Let's keep going. So, Toya asks, is it possible to sit down with Quad? T says that's up to Gregory. Toya says, as a helpmate, you don't think you could talk to him? And she says, I've tried, but he don't really want to talk about it. So I don't know what else you want me to do. Like, I've had a conversation with him, but he ain't trying to do shit. So what am I supposed to do? I feel like in this moment, Toya is starting to realize, and I don't know if she is or not, but I will hope that they are realizing that T does not have the voice in her marriage that y'all think she got. T ain't got that voice, okay? Just like Quad may show up all tough or whatever with the ladies, Quad didn't have that voice for real with him. I think it got to that point where she did, but I also feel like at times she was just like quiet because she didn't want to get into it. She didn't want to hear no drama. She just got like, okay. And I think that's the same place T is in. Like, I'm just not finna, I don't even want to argue. Okay, he said he don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to push it. It is what it is. So she don't really, to me, have that much of a voice. But Toya asked her, what about you, though? Like, she asked, do you want to be a part of this group or do you think that you'll walk away? And then, T is like, well, I don't think I'll walk away from y'all as friends or whatever. Toya says, she doesn't want to fight for something if the other person isn't fighting for it. So it sounds to me that Toya is trying to get T to say, I'll sit down with Quad. I don't have no issue with Quad, but I feel like that's understood. I thought that was understood that T don't really got no issue with Quad for real. To me, I don't know. I can't recall what may have happened between the two last year or at the reunion or after the reunion or whatever, but I didn't really think either lady really had an issue with the other. But I feel like the reason Quad didn't invite T to the birthday party was because she probably didn't want to be around Gregory or something with her new man there, which is interesting because you walked up ready to hug her ass last year. So maybe this was your way to make sure you could ice her and Gregory ass out the show now that you got your new man coming onto the show. So maybe that's what it was. I'm going to do different, take on different opportunities to film with the ladies and make sure that I exclude T. Right? So, man, I don't know. But that's what I felt, Toya was trying to do to see if T would be willing to have a sit-down conversation with Quad. And maybe she is. But at the end of the day, if Gregory ain't trying to move on, then, it might be tough for her to, move on or whatever. So, I don't know. But T says that she can't make a decision on what Gregory wants to do. And Toya says, but we talking about you, though. Like, but what you trying to do? What you want to do? Like, how are you moving? Like, how, what? I guess they want her to put her foot down and say, Gregory, I understand you're upset, but I enjoy this friend group. I want to be around this friend group. And I'm not forcing you to do it, but I'm going to continue to foster relationships with these people and kind of get to know them. a bit better. I feel like that's something Toya would definitely tell Eugene, which is why she's asking T exactly what she's going to do, how she's going to do it, because you can kind of make that decision on your own and give him time to come around. Because honestly, when I think about it, I mean, I guess so, because T get paid. This is T's check. Just like T said on her channel, Gregory don't get a check from this. So are you going to just let go of a check because he don't want to be a part of the show? Plenty of women continue to be a part of the show and the friend group without their husbands coming on the show at all. So I feel like that could be what Toya may be trying to ask her. So T says that she can't make that decision. She can't make that decision for her, and that it's up to you at the end of the day. Because Toya's like, well, I don't want to have to choose, and she said, well, it's up to you. I can't make that decision for you. If you want to choose sides, then you can go right ahead. But it sounds to me also that T is standing by her husband, and I'm not saying that that's wrong either. Stand by your husband and stuff. But if you know that you do want to be a part of this friend group, then let his ass know that too. And my other thing is, if this group if Toya chooses sides and decides to move on without you because you don't feel like you can control yourself being around these other people or being around Quad and this man or whatever it is, you don't know what you're going to do, then I'm just going to go ahead and choose them. And my thing is, once Toya makes her decision, don't be mad at it. Because I think that T is right. T can't make that decision for Toya. Only Toya can make that decision. Okay. Now, I feel like Toya does not have to make that decision. I feel like T was making that decision for her in a sense. So it's not like you really had to say you're going to choose. T is just like, when my husband move, I'm moving. When he move, I move. Just like that. And right now he ain't trying to move, so I'm just going to sit with him. So I feel like all Toya had to say was like, okay, cool. But it doesn't mean that you have to choose and disassociate yourself from her or any of that. You just go on with the group that wants to continue to move forward with the group. And when T decides to come around, I feel like it's okay to be open to accept her back in at that moment too. But Toya felt like she was being forced to choose a side. Not necessarily, I guess, but okay. And so that's the thing. And T, since you let her know, you didn't give her anything with it by saying, no, I do want to be a part of this group. But it's really difficult at home with Gregory and this, that, and the other. And when I try to talk to him about, I just feel like at the end of the day, when she makes a decision, don't be mad at how she moving because you told her that she could choose. Okay. What else? So Scott and Eugene. So Greg didn't like that nobody reached out to him to see what happened. I'm like, well, Scott and Contessa did reach out to you to see how you was, though. They did. Greg admits that he tried to file charges on King. He says that it's simple battery. And he talks about how it'll be 90 days in jail and a fine. And I don't think that's cool, because if the roles were reversed, even if King tried to do that with Gregory, I wouldn't agree. I know a lot of y'all would because y'all don't like Dr. G or whatever. And yeah, he could hit on women and he could do that, put him in jail. Like, cut this shit out. All right. Last time I checked, him and Quad, didn't they both go to jail for whatever shit they was over there doing in that house? So he's already gotten that. But aside from that, even if it was King doing that to him, I would still feel like, for what? When y'all could just have a conversation. Like, why are we doing the 90 days and then the fine and then all of this shit? Like, for what? Especially with y'all being on a show and y'all all there trying to get some money in some capacity. But anywho, so Eugene asked him, like, did he touch you? Did he touch you? And Gregory's still trying to explain something. Eugene's like, nigga, did he touch you? He was like, no, he didn't. Okay, then. Okay. So it's just a conversation we can have. It could be resolved. Anywho, I don't know if Gregory was trying to, get the police involved in some way to prevent King from developing deeper relationships with his friends or something. Because make no mistakes, Dr. G feels like these people are his friends, right? More so than they are Quad's or anybody else's. So I feel like that was his way of definitely trying to block him from getting, a bit closer or whatever. But I feel like this is also a lesson for King, even if he did or didn't go down trying to put charges, and whether they accepted the charges or did not accept the charges. It's like, you just got to be mindful of how you move with people in this group in general. Because at any moment, somebody could try and go down there and want to put charges on you. So I think that he learned a lesson, the night before when he got into it with Gregory after the fact. So there's that. So Greg plays a song about him wanting to be free, and it was lame. It was whack. It wasn't as good as he thought. And I just said, Greg, listen, if you want to be free, baby, free yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody else to free you. You can free yourself. You're tired of the BS. You're tired of being lied on and all this other stuff you say. You can really free yourself, okay? Dr. G did, that was it. So Quad's gathering. We get to Quad's gathering, right? So Quad's about to do her thing, and she asked that they do not bring up the past while they hanging out. And Contessa asked, well, why are we not talking about the past? And then Quad said, because BLT, we've talked about the past enough. Like, hello? Simone asked, okay, well then, since we leaving stuff in the past and we moving forward, that means you coming to Toya's event regardless, right? You'll be there, right? Regardless of anything that's going on. And Quad says, well, I would love to be there. Don't get it twisted. I would absolutely love to be there, but I'm not going to be putting him in any more compromising situations, okay? So for the safety of my man and me, we will not be in the building, but thanks. So then Simone asks, so then Toya says, well, Quad, I appreciate you. Okay. She says, I appreciate you for telling me this. Okay. Now, the whole time Toya talking, Simone is pissing me off because she's just looking like just rolling her eyes. It's like, can you let her get it out, ho? Ho, is you cool? Can you let her get it out? God, dog. So then Simone says, everyone needs to own their part. And the fact that King came the very next day and said he was sorry that things went too far, that's a man's man. That's a, yes, King, that was really good. And then Quad says, yes, that's why I love him, whatever. And I'm over here like, Simone, let me get back to you for a little bit. BITCH, you have some fucking nerves to sit your ass up here acting high and fucking mighty. You really do. Knowing that you're the same bitch. And since you want to sit up here talking about everybody needs to own their part. You wasn't even trying to own your part of the shit that you said at the reunion with Quad or whatever it was when you sat with Heavenly and recognized that you was wrong and knew that you needed to have a conversation with Quad. Now, I'm with you if you didn't want to apologize for last year because you stood on how you felt and it ain't changing. Okay, cool. But the other part that you were aware of and knew that you was wrong and needed to apologize or whatever it was to her, you didn't even want to do that. You didn't even want to acknowledge that to her. But you want to sit up here, roll your neck, twist your body, and do all of this extra shit when Toya's talking. Don't even know where she's going with it. Just doing all this extra shit. It just don't make no sense. Trying to act high and mighty. Like, that's crazy to me when, bitch, you was just in the same situation. Didn't even want to acknowledge the shit when it came to Quad. So, girl, she getting on my nerves, okay? These Powerpuff villains are getting on my nerves, okay? Should it be Powerpuff villains or Golden Girl villains or something, okay? It's definitely not giving Golden Era. But anywho, so Contessa says that she was that she will always be Team Greg and T. And don't want them to make a big deal out of what happened in Florida. And I'm like, well, first of all, I feel like the person making a big deal out of Florida would be Dr. G primarily. But I will say this, that Heavenly and Simone are only making it a big deal because they want to now distance themselves from the bullshit after they were encouraging this woman to be on the show last season. Now y'all want to try to distance y'allself. Why you ain't twist and turn and do your neck and your head and all that shit last year, Simone, when they was talking about getting Quad out? Asking that lady to come out there to Napa for a day or two and then sending her ass back home in tears. Why you wasn't twisting your neck and rolling your eyes and doing all of that shit then before you delivered that speech to Quad and let her know she got to go home? Now, all of a sudden, y'all both want to distance yourselves from Dr. G and Simone to fake and make it appear as though y'all really here for Quad when y'all wasn't, and you're not, because your real actions, in my opinion, showed up last year. Your real feelings showed up last year. Now y'all want to sit up here and run. Like, it's just whack. So Toya tells her story on linking up with T and how T wasn't willing to acknowledge her actions and how she would and whether she was going to control herself when she's in the same environment as y'all. So it made Toya feel like she would have to choose. And she says, don't put me in a position to where I have to choose, because if I do, it won't be you. And Toya, number one, you were already choosing, and that is okay. But don't make it seem like T put you in a position to choose. I don't really think she put you in a position to choose, but it sounded like that's what you were going for anyway. You say that you didn't know how to bring the group together. Then you sit down with her I don't want to fight for it if somebody else doesn't want to fight for it. And I don't think that it wasn't that T didn't want to fight for it. I think she's just in a compromising situation with this husband. I think she does want it. I think she does like being around this group despite her, complaining and different shit. But I think that what's happening at home with Gregory is she don't want to have any more issues than what she already got. I think that's really what it is. But at the end of the day, primarily, I feel like you wanted to make a choice, and that's what you did. Now, T wasn't wrong when she said that's up to you, because in my opinion, you didn't have to choose. You should have just said any other time like you probably would, well, I'll accept the fact that you won't be there. I understand if you won't be there then, because I get the situation. And this is new, right? We're not going to be over it so quickly, so I understand like it's okay. But instead, you chose up quickly. And then, don't put me in a position to feel like I got to choose, because if I do, I won't choose you. So basically, she's choosing Quad over T, is what she's saying. Okay. I also feel like this was a moment, not so much as for Toya to show that she's fake, because I don't get that from Toya, because Toya can pounce on Quad head as any time that she wants, as she's been doing for multiple seasons. Okay. She will hold that head to the fire, honey. But Toya wanted to show Quad that I meant, in my opinion, that I meant what I said at the reunion whenever we apologized to each other and agreed to move forward. And that's for real the place that I'm at. So I'm going to choose you over her. Right? And Quad appreciated that. Quad felt like those ladies were finally stepping into her shoes and seeing how it felt. And I'm like, I don't know if they really sending in. I don't really think that they're like stepping in your shoes and seeing how you felt. They already knew that SHI before they brought this bitch on, because all of them would not have wanted it done to them. So I don't think they're stepping into. I just think they're trying to distance themselves from the fuck shit, because the fans be on their ass about it. What else? So it ended up being a good moment. Quad got emotional. She really appreciated that. I hate the fact that they cut some of it out, because at the time that Quad was getting emotional about it, it was still daylight. When they cut to the next scene, it was dark outside. So I'm like, dang, I thought we was going to get more of the interaction between Quad and Toya and stuff, because of course we all know they've been through a lot of stuff. So this was a good moment. And Dr. Heavenly going to sit up there and tell Toya, ooh, Toya, that's good. That's good, Toya. Toya, that's good. I got a new respect for you, Toya. I got a new respect for you, Toya. I'm like, oh, I know Toya probably was like, and I don't have respect for you at all. Okay, but okay, girl. All right. But anywho, I think it was a good moment. I was glad to see that, because I was hoping that Toya and Quad would be at a better place. Now, I don't know if they're going to fall out at a later time, but I'll never forget when Toya was on one of the Bravo stages, and they asked her about King and Quad, and to Quad's new man, King, and Toya was like, oh, he's a man. Oh, Toya, Quad's new man, yada, yada, yada. And Toya said nothing negative about this man. Quad got down in the comments, so you better tread lightly, Toya, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, are you okay? The lady didn't even say nothing negative. She said nothing negative about this man. Okay, and then for you to see this at this point where she chose you and y'all should be on good terms, why would you then put something sideways in the damn comments? And then you misspelled it at that, because people was dragging you for that. But it's like, y'all okay? Anywho, so ultimately, for that particular scene, it was a nice moment between the ladies. Dr. Mimi, let me say this. I'm looking so forward to seeing what you can bring to this show, but I don't know what it is, but the women, when you talk, Dr. Mimi, a few times, I actually overlook you. It's as if you are not in the scene or you're not needed for the scene. And I don't know if it's because they introduced you so late or what the hell is going on. They introduced you at enough time for them to phase Phaedra out. So the way that they introduced you, they knew Phaedra was about to leave anyway. They knew, in my opinion, that they had a few more episodes to go before Phaedra was gone anyway, because of how her contract and things were lining up, and it's time for her to switch over and start filming for Real Housewives, which is why they probably introduced you like 2 or 3 episodes ago or something like that, because they knew Phaedra was going to be out of there, and they needed to allow us to get to know you a bit more. But I feel like we're not. When you're in scenes, it's as if you're not even there. So I don't know what next year is going to look like for you, but the girls are definitely going to test you and try to pull more out of you, because right now your personality, in my opinion, just from these few episodes, is showing up similar to Dr. Alicia. And with it showing up similar to Dr. Alicia was like a throwaway for me. Now, who I liked was Dr. Audra. I think she was a doctor. Either she was an attorney or something like that. But I liked her. I like Audra, baby. I feel like Audra had the personality. She had what she needed to keep up with the girls. Y'all can bring her back. But I am concerned for you, Dr. Mimi, because it's not giving much of a personality just yet with these ladies. And it's crazy because although T brought you into this group, like Contessa said, I do feel like you may switch on her in an effort to be with the popular girls. And when T is no longer around for them to pounce on, it's going to be you. So I want to see how you going to react and what you going to show when they do that. Okay, and nobody's asking you to act the ass or show your ass on television. You do not have to do that. But you can, clearly Jackie gets paid probably the most doing the least. So you don't have to show your R's, but you better know how to get these hoes up off you, okay? Just a little piece, all right? So we're gonna see. It's gonna be real interesting how that flows with you, ma'am. What else we got? Simone and Dr. Jackie and Phaedra. So Jackie brings Curtis to Phaedra's house. I don't know why I felt like whenever you came to the other lady's house, you didn't bring him. I'm like, were you threatened or something and needed to bring Phaedra? Does Phaedra live on the bad side of town or something? Like, what the hell was that? So when Phaedra asked her about something about Curtis, she says, oh, we're going to see his nephew afterwards. And I'm like, I don't know. Jackie probably lied, just saying it so she could have an excuse to bring that man along, only for his ass to go sit downstairs in the basement. Like, I guess saying by himself, not with the assistant, because they probably not going to have much to talk about, and they might. Okay, but that boy probably got work he got to do. Might have got time to sit down there and entertain his ass for real. So it's like, girl, why you brought Curtis to this lady's house? But anywho, so she wants Phaedra to come back to the group, and Phaedra says, no, ain't finna do it, okay? Do it for the group, ain't gonna do it. Do it for the group, ain't gonna do it. Not finna do it. So then Phaedra said, I don't want to be around y'all. Baby, the way Phaedra said, I don't want to be around y'all, I holler. I said, I know that's right, Phaedra. That's what we want more of from you. Let me speak for myself. Just start being more direct with them hoes. I love when you said you bitches. I love it. Like, bitches like y'all or whatever. Be direct with them hoes. Let them know. But when you try to be real southern, what you call it, southern belle about, I don't want southern belle, bitch. I just want southern. Okay? A southern directness is what I want from you. Like, girl, I don't like being around you, hoe. I do not like being around y'all. Nope. Y'all some messy women's for me. Okay? But we all know, of course, they're doing this for the scene because this lady has already signed her contract. If Phaedra would have never signed a contract for for Real Housewives of Atlanta, she'll be going back out there to talk to them hoes. She probably would have took a little break or something, like an episode or two, but she would be right back out there trying to figure it out with those ladies. All right. Anywho, so Phaedra knew, so they talk about the Apollo situation of it all. And of course, Heavenly reminds her that, it was my understanding that you knew he was coming. They never really show Phaedra's response to that. And I question if she probably said, yeah, I knew that. I had a conversation with them about that, but I didn't know the wife was coming. All right. And y'all, of course, y'all believe she brought Shaq or whatever. She knew he was coming, so she brought Shaq. Okay, cool. I would have did the same thing. Y'all bringing my ex, somebody that I'm not trying to be affiliated, interested, start no drama with, because I know how you hoes is, you type of bitches. Then yes, I'm going to bring somebody as a distraction. Absolutely. To me, it's no different than Quad bringing her man. If y'all think y'all finna make me uncomfortable being there with my ex, and then now my ex got a wife, yeah, no, I'm bringing mine too. Like, we're not finna do what y'all think finna happen. See, absolutely nothing wrong with it. So for y'all to say that her plan backfired, it didn't. Your plan backfired because she left that trip early. So whatever drama y'all thought y'all was going to get out of Faye or whatever, you didn't fully get that. You got a little piece, you got a little snippet, and they got gone. So what else is going on? Talking about it backfired. Like, no, it backfired on y'all. Okay? Y'all didn't expect her to leave, but she did. Okay, and for y'all to feel like this lady brought nothing to the show, she didn't do this, she didn't do that, y'all damn show want her to continue to be around y'all, come around, and all of that. I don't know why y'all want her approval so bad, but when I tell you I love it and it's a kiki and a fucking cackle for me, it really is. Because as I said last week, and I'm going to say it again, y'all have done a lot of SHI, okay? Y'all have done a lot of SHI in hopes that, or not in hopes or whatever. Y'all have done a lot of SHI to other people. because they're not on your level. And Phaedra don't even do half as much of the work that y'all do. And y'all be pressed by her for some reason. And I love to see it. Y'all can say that y'all not, but y'all are. The same way y'all be trying to have other folks pressed. It's the cackle. But anywho, honey, good luck. All right. So those are my thoughts on the episode. I thought it was okay. It was an okay episode. We'll just have to see how everything is going to, play out with the ladies. I'm trying to see if there was anything else that I wanted to highlight about this. I don't know. Y'all can leave it in the comments. But other than that, I do want us to hop over and get into what Gizelle had to say about Married to Medicine and what Dr. Heavenly's response was about what they had to say. Okay, so let us get into that real quick. Okay.
I don't love.
But don't
Married
love?
to Medicine.
Oh.
So I like those ladies.
Yeah.
I like the show.
Okay.
I don't like what the hell is happening.
What is happening?
So I know you don't know, but I got caught up into the Matrix.
Okay.
And I turned on my TV and it was there.
Okay.
And all I saw was, because we know Phaedra's on the show. And they were on a cast trip.
Okay.
And here comes Apollo.
Okay.
Joining them on the trip.
He's not a doctor. Okay.
Yeah. With his wife.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not a doctor.
Who's not a doctor either. Right. And
Phaedra's not a doctor.
And so Heavenly, who is a doctor, invited Apollo and his wife. So they're walking up. So then we cut to Phaedra in her confessional and she's like, yeah, this is the woman that my husband was cheating on me with.
Okay.
So then we see like Shireen, I think that's her name, is the wife. And then we have Quad.
Okay.
Who used to be married to a doctor, Greg, who is now married to someone else.
Yes.
On the show.
Sweet Tea or something.
Yes. And then now Quad is there with her new boo.
Okay.
Okay. So we have all of these exes and all of this mess. And I'm typically here for the mess because, I love me some Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So I am here for the mess.
Yes.
Not this mess. I was kind of like feeling bad for Phaedra. I felt like this is from a producer standpoint, like this is too much. We didn't cross the line. It's just too much.
So like, did they blindside her?
Like that, from what I understand, behind the scenes, she knew Apollo was coming, but not the wife.
Okay.
And I think because Apollo was at the reunion last year,
but
with her. So I think,
oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So I think she was cool with that, but not like you're bringing the wife.
Why is Apollo there? I don't even understand. Why is he there?
I don't get any of it. It don't make no sense. The whole thing is set up to be messy.
Yeah, messy.
And
right.
it reeks of that. Yeah. It reeks of produced. It just, I literally said no more. But let me tell you what I don't love.
Y'all let me know if y'all agree with Gizelle. All of these shows are produced to be messy as hell. All of these shows are produced to get eyes on the show for us to watch them. I think the dark part or the worst part at times can be Heavenly going live multiple times all the damn time. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it could be that potentially, but I mean, it's for our entertainment. And I understand if it doesn't make sense to people because we're often used to seeing Married to Medicine or people affiliated with it in some capacity in the medicine arena. But when they brought on Phaedra, it did take things completely left field. But that's just Bravo really wanting to work with Phaedra and trying to find somewhere to put her. So they put her somewhere where it didn't even make sense. Because for them, they're like, hell, we hire people to be housewives and none of them are actually housewives at all. So, yeah, let's do that. So why not have somebody on the show that's nowhere near affiliated with being married to medicine? Okay, maybe she is because she's an attorney and maybe she's representing individuals in the medical field. So maybe we could finesse it that way. But she's not necessarily married to medicine. So I feel like that was the excuse because they ultimately wanted Phaedra on the new show. So they got her. So I understand if it doesn't make sense, but understand all of these shows were produced to be messy. All right. You don't think that it was dark on your own show? I have to be honest with Mia bringing up her child's father, the paternity of her child. Like that was dark, in my opinion. And y'all did, tear her a new one. Okay. So everybody has their dark moments or whatever it is. So I mean, all of this shit is produced to be messy. So I hear you, girl, and I understand if you may feel a way about it because I mean, it was stupid, and we are gonna say that they messy, but that's their job. Anywho, so let's get into what Dr. Heavenly had to say. Actually, I don't think this is it. Give me 1 second. Actually, this is it. So let's get into what Dr. Heavenly had to say about what Gizelle said.
But Gizelle said that we seem very, what word did she say? Produced? The interesting thing is I ain't got shit else to tell her because I don't really watch her shit. I don't know if it's produced or not. All I know from Carlos is Mia be lying. And I saw the clip where they said that one girl had hired her man and something about he told it. He told it to Wendy's husband, Eddie, Happy Eddie. That's all I know. That's all I know about this show. So I can't say it's produced or not. But the great thing, Gizelle, I'm going to tell you this to your face. At least you're watching that shit because I'm not watching yours. I'm sorry. I love all you ladies. I really do. But thank you for watching to even say that. And to me, honestly, when she said that, I think it was a hit to Phaedra. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. But I think that was a hit to Phaedra. So a lot of people have been asking me what I thought about that. First, but Gizelle said that we...
Heavenly says she don't watch the show. I know some people feel like she does, but I wouldn't be surprised if she don't. Because a lot of people don't. They just catch the clips and stuff that they see online and watch those to find out what's happening on the show. So that's very, very well could be true. When she said she felt like it was a hit to Phaedra, and she said, if you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. She's pretty much talking about Phaedra dating Jamal Bryant at one point, allegedly. And I don't necessarily think that that was a hit to Phaedra. I think that was a hit to your ass directly, high key. Because the events that she mentioned involved you, Dr. Heavenly. Aside from that, she also said, I actually felt bad for Phaedra. Like, she said it, in my opinion, how I took it, even though how Dr. Heavenly took it was that it was a hit to Phaedra. But Gizelle said it like, you know, I actually felt bad for this woman. Like, this woman that actually was talking to my ex-husband or whatever, like, I actually feel bad for her. Because why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was not no shot at Phaedra, Bookie Doo. Okay? That was a shot at you, mean girl, Miss Ma'am. That was a shot at you, Tookie. Okay? So, there's that, honey. But I just wanted to come and let y'all get a little taste of what it is that Heavenly had to say in response to Gizelle after, you know, she hasn't really been featuring Married to Medicine. Okay, even though she's been watching the show and stuff, she don't like the place that it's getting. And also, who's to say Gizelle actually watched the show for what she did? I think she did say she had it on, but also she could be watching the clips too online because there are some pages that will put the primary episode, the primary scenes of the episode up, and then you could just follow along with what's happening just from watching those clips. But either way it go, that's what those ladies said. All right, I'll leave the comments to you guys for you all to argue in and disagree. Or whatever, as you typically do. But yeah, that's it. That's all that I got. I thank you guys so much for watching. I am Jami, that's me. And of course, I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell them I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel the pool.